Okay, tell me if this happens to you. You meet someone new, they tell you your name, and then within 5 seconds, poof, it goes out from your brain. And throughout the conversation, you secretly hope that someone would spell out their name so that you can remember it. And you hope that someone in this group will mention their name so that you won't embarrass yourself. I've been there too. In fact, I've embarrassed myself, sometimes calling them the wrong names, and I wish sometimes I could just dig a hole and put my head in there. But the good news is, today I'm going to share with you a simple hack that will help you remember a person's name so that you don't have to guess if this person's name is Alex or Adam, and you won't mess up and embarrass yourself in front of everyone. And the best part is it works every single time. So why should you listen to a 46-year-old in a black jacket on a Sunday afternoon? Hi, I'm Jules T, and welcome to the Jules T Talk channel. I'm currently working in the manufacturing industry and holding a senior management position. For the past 20 years, I've been making lots of mistakes, literally loads. And I wish there was someone who could have told me this earlier so that I didn't have to make all those mistakes over the years. I'm doing this video because I want to share with people out there things that I've learned throughout the 20 years so that you don't have to make the same mistakes that I did. Let's get to it. Think about it. When someone remembers your name, it feels really wonderful. You feel that you're valued, you're important to that person. Now, I'll be very honest, I'm really terrible at names. I once met an important stakeholder, and not long after, I forgot his name. And I started to use names like bro, sir, and it was awful. It was embarrassing for me because this was an important person. It is okay if it's in McDonald's, but not inside a meeting or a boardroom. And let me tell you, it wasn't my proudest moment. And over the years, I started to put effort remembering other people's names. And there was one time I remembered this client's name and they were so impressed and they trusted me instantly. And that's when it hit me that names are so powerful. Alright, let's get to the strategy. It's called the anchor method. The first thing is to repeat back the name. So let's say, for example, Jane introduces herself to you and you say, "Hi, I'm Jane." And you say, "Jane, nice to meet you." Just repeat the name back. Step number 2 is to anchor to something familiar to this name. For example, Jane, to me, is associated to the other name Tarzan, Jane and Tarzan. So I associate Jane to Tarzan, the hunk with messy hair and shirtless body, yet muscular. And then number 3 is to exaggerate the anchor. So I imagine Jane and Tarzan swinging between the trees from one tree to another. The more ridiculous the anchor is, the more it sticks to your brain. Jane and Tarzan swinging in the trees. And the fourth thing is application. You start to use the name in your conversation. Jane, what do you think about this project? Jane, how about this approach? When you start to use the name often, the gentle replication locks it in. Let's try another one. You meet a guy named James. "Hi James, nice to meet you." And you anchor James to something familiar. James Bond. Alright, James Bond, and now you anchor him to something ridiculous. You imagine him wearing a tuxedo, sipping a martini, and having some secret weapon in his socks. And then you repeat his name. "Hey James, how are you doing this weekend? Hey James, what do you think about this project?" And that's James. And some quick tips. Don't be afraid to ask their name if you forget their name for the first time. People prefer that they've been asked about their name rather than feel that their name has been forgotten. Number 2, when someone mentions their name, focus on getting their name anchored into your brain. Don't just let it drift away, because if you don't take an action to remember their names, within few seconds, you completely lost the memory of her name. And here's something I realized over time. The more practice I put into remembering names, the better I get at it, and the better connections I build. When you use someone's name, the other person feels that we value them, we see them as someone important. I remember many years ago when I joined a multinational company. I attended this meeting where the VP was also there, and I had a brief conversation with him. And the next day when I walked down the corridor, he called my name, "Hey Jules!" And I was like, out of the hundreds of people, he could remember my name. And I felt so important. And I had a really good impression of this VP. He must be a really great guy for remembering even my name. I'm just a small fry in the company. I realized then on, as you become leaders in your company, it's even more important to remember another person's name. And that's the thing. Leaders, mentors, your friends, they stand out because they make us feel seen. And often it starts with something simple as remembering your name. And there you have it, the anchor method. Repeat the name, anchor the name to an image, exaggerate the image, and then repeat the name in your conversations. It's simple, it's fun, especially when the image is ridiculously funny and it works every time. The more you practice, the easier it gets and it becomes second nature to you. If you found this helpful, remember to like and subscribe and tell me what's the funniest anchors that you have used for names. Thanks for watching and I hope to see you in my next video. Bye!